What up, everybody? Raising Kanan Season 3, Episode 9 leaves us with another cliffhanger, wondering what will be the fate of Lulu Thomas as he rides off into the middle of nowhere with Rock and Marvin, begging that they don't leave him out there alone, making it look like Lou was staring death in the face, saying, once you're staring death in the face, ain't no more deals left to make, ain't no negotiation left to do. Your business here is done, your money ain't good no more. Also keeping in mind that the title of episode 9 was titled Home to Roost. That phrase means if something bad or unacceptable that someone has done comes home to roost, they will now have to deal with the unpleasant results of their actions. And this is no doubt the situation we see Lou in right now. Lou has been spiraling more and more out of control with his drinking problem all season. Honestly, at this point, I don't know who fell off worse, Lou Thomas or Franklin Saint. No drugs involved at all, just straight up from drinking too much. And the main thing that caused Lou to fall so heavy into this problem is the fact he's trying to drink to escape those memories. Like OG Kanan said after Lou killed Scrap's mother in episode 7. He said memories are just like ghosts. They're all the bad you've done and seen and felt and known. And the thing is, the more you try to push that and wipe it out your brain, the stronger it gets. It ain't got nowhere to go. And it wants you to know it's there. So when you're at your weakest, that's when it reminds you of your worst day, of your worst you. And that's when Lou looked up at Chantel's house, only to see Scrappy looking back at him. And the biggest problem with Lou's drinking is that he keeps opening his mouth. All the way back to episode 1, talking to Kanan and Marvin about Rock. All the way to running his mouth to anyone who would listen in episode 9. Also keep in mind, by the time we get to episode 9, Lou hadn't changed clothes for some days. He's still in the same clothes he was wearing when Marvin came and grabbed him up, confronting him about running his mouth to Chantel. When Marvin went to Lou's apartment looking for him, he told the manager that he ain't saw Lou for days. Also keep in mind how trash Lou's apartment was. Very similar to what Franklin Saint's house looked like at the end of Snowfall. Just showing all the more that Lou has become little more than a shell of his former self. But at the same time, even while he's down this bad, he was still able to produce that song for Famous that got the attention of the record label owner. So it's like when Lou's break finally came, he was too far gone and it was too late. Because even if Famous would have found him, Lou is in no condition to meet the man anyway. So Famous is probably better off taking that meeting without Lou. But episode 9 got to the point where something had to be done about Lou. He has literally left Marvin and Rock without a choice. He started off the episode driving around drunk, swerving all over the road, even hitting a parked car on the way to the liquor store. So I'm guessing the days he's been missing that he's been sleeping in his car. But it also looks like that he may be out of money also at this point, because when he went to get the bottle of whiskey, he couldn't find his money and pulled out his gun and robbed the store for a $10 bottle of whiskey instead. Now it did look like he might have found his money and was able to pay, but got pissed off about the man getting slick at the mouth with him and just decided to rob him. But at the same time, there's a very good chance he is also out the money, because when the cops found him at the bar, he ain't paid for the drinks that he had there either. But the two cops that found him were working for Howard and took Lou to an abandoned house for Howard. By the time Howard got there, Lou had already confessed to his own crime of robbing the liquor store. Just another demonstration of how gone he is, willingly snitching on himself to police who weren't even trying to question him. Then he went on to tell Detective Howard that he could solve every murder on the South Side. Then Lou figured out that it was Howard who gave Rock the bad information that got Scrappy killed. So if Lou is still alive and both him and Howard make it to season 4, this could definitely be a potential beef that we could see play out also. Then when Rock arrived, we might have got a clue that they didn't kill Lou from her conversation with Howard. And we also found out that it wasn't Rock who set Marvin up to go to prison back in the day. Because Howard tried to convince Rock to let Marvin take the fall for the operation the feds are investigating from season 2 with the Mafia. And Rock told Howard, I ain't ever gonna sell out my family. And this goes all the way back to season 2 as well, when Sal tried to get Rock to offer up Marvin to avoid going to war. And she told Sal something very similar to what she told Howard, knowing that her decision could have cost her her own life. Just like the decision not to sell her brother out to the feds could ultimately mean that Rock may have to do a life sentence. And we know for sure, going back to season 1, that Rock has always had a closer relationship with Lou than she had with Marvin up until recently. So do we really think that Rock and Marvin are willing to take out their younger brother just like that without even blinking an eye? Because Lou had no doubt that Rock and Marvin had no other intention other than putting him down. From the time Lou was in the abandoned house, he called Rock the Black Widow. Then something made Lou feel like that Rock was going to kill him, and he started freaking out. They didn't show it, but I think Rock might have had her gun in her hand. That's when Lou started crying out for Marvin not to let Rock kill him. Lou straight up told Marvin that he's not ready yet, before Marvin put Lou in the car to take him to whatever they intend on doing with him. Now keep in mind, in the car, it was all Lou freaking out. Rock and Marvin remained quiet, other than when Lou said, "You don't love me," and Marvin replied to Lou, "We love you." Then Lou went on to cry about being left alone out there in the dark, and went on to repeat several times stuff like, "Do what you gotta do, just don't leave me out there like that by myself." So I'm thinking that Lou feels like they're about to drop him off in the middle of the woods and leave him out there to die. Or are they taking Lou out in the middle of nowhere to put him down and bury him? I guess we'll have to wait to know for sure. But just like Ghost and Unique, if they don't show that body, I'm going to have to assume that Lou makes it out alive, even if Rock and Marvin intended on leaving him out there to die. One reason why they might just leave him out there to die is so it doesn't look like he was murdered. But also keep in mind that the cops were involved in getting a hold of Lou in the first place. So that could be another clue that they don't have any intentions on killing him. Honestly, for all we know, Rock might own property out there in the middle of nowhere, and they're dropping him off to be babysat by Joyce again. And Lou's freaking out of the thought of being left with Joyce trying to get sober. And one final clue that I got that Rock and Marvin didn't kill Lou was from when Rock went to talk to Kanan about Ronnie at the mall. She said Ronnie don't think like most people, and said he killed his own brother. Is this a clue that Rock was going to do the same thing, or that she's not like Ronnie and wouldn't kill her own brother? And there you have it. What happened to Lou? Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.